how do you find a good therapist? Dr. Nick joins us this morning with more. This is not a self-promotion, by the way.
What is that? I said we talk about it, and that's the way you open it. With a therapist?
Well, here's why. I can't tell you how many people I've run across every week who say, I get a free therapy session with Dr. Nick. I don't even need to see a therapist because I get something that helps me with either something I'm struggling with or somebody else's every week in, 6-7 minutes. And I thought, yes, you know. But
that's exciting to hear.
But it also raises the question, because I do have a lot of people say, well, what makes a good therapist? How do I find one? And they'll ask me for recommendations. And of course, I recommend you sometimes, but sometimes you're full, and other people. But what's the best way to find a good therapist? And how do you know if you connect? Because there have been people who've said, I've been in therapy for years and I don't feel like it's made one bit of difference.
Yeah, that's a loaded
question.
First of all, let's get it real clear that we're talking about talk therapy.
Okay.
Because there are many forms of therapy. And I always want to make that real clear to people.
Okay.
A symphony can be therapeutic. A painting, as you do, can be therapeutic. Working in the yard can be therapeutic.
Right.
Going to a grief group that's maybe free in a church can be therapeutic.
Sure.
We're talking about that one-on-one where you really go in and say, these are some of the issues that are bothering me, or I seem to have unresolved anger. I've got some trauma, or I'm drinking too much. Where you can specifically say something's not right in my life.
Right, we're not talking
bipolar
bipolar
a little
right
dysfunctional, or I've been dysfunctional, and I just need to kind of get on track. Okay.
Or maybe get a different perspective.
Get a different perspective, and instead of maybe going to the wife or the wrong, again, the bottle for therapy.
Sure.
Because it can be self-medicating. And Whitney, I would say probably the first and foremost is going to be the connection. Is there a connection? Was there empathy? Does the person feel safe with that therapist, that counselor? Does there seem to be a sense of, wow, I can say things here, and I feel comfortable saying things here? One of the things that I feel is the greatest compliment as a counselor is when someone says, I've said things that I never have said before. And that gives me the joy of knowing that they felt safe enough to look into their living room that may be dusty. So that seems to me to be crystal clear. And then I think it's important also to even say, how does it feel for you? How are you clicking with me? How do you feel? And don't be reserved about it if it's not working. I love to say, I will help you find someone that's better for you. Or if you feel like you want a woman, or if you felt like you needed a man, okay, we'll give it a try. And then lastly, I would say that it's trying to really move people to a different place. Not force it, but move it. And trust that process, that, okay, it may take a while, but let's have some clear goals. I sometimes feel like it's more personal training.
Okay.
Instead of I'm in the gym, I'm helping people say, okay, what habits might we need to look at and change? How might I change? The problem, I think, with most people is when they want to come in and talk, they want to talk about their wives, or they want to talk about their kids, or they want to talk about their job. And my job as a therapist is to get them to talk about who? Themselves. I am not there to pass judgment or to enable somebody's behavior. And that's a tough challenge for a counselor.
I bet.
Because I don't want to be too pushy, but I want to say, you're paying for this. Let's look at you.
I like it.
That's tough.
Yes.
And I think we can all fall into the trap of wanting to be liked and wanting to say, oh, I feel for you. And I'm like, okay, I do feel for you, but you're the one that's got to do the work.
Right.
And if I'm working harder than you, this ain't working. That's a line I'll often use.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it home.
Right.
But does that make